There is a shadow of death that has been following you silently for years. You do not see it, yet it walks behind you. You do not hear it, yet it whispers in the silence of your nights. You thought you survived, but it was never survival. It was a postponement, and now the hour has come when truth cannot be delayed any longer.
Listen carefully, for I, Michael, stand before you, not with comfort, but with a sword of revelation. Since the day of your birth, a shadow was assigned to you, not of your own choosing, not of your own doing, but of blood, of destiny, and of a vow that was spoken long before you even breathed your first cry. You wonder why misfortune has visited your doors again and again. You wonder why, in every moment of joy, a whisper of sorrow quickly followed. It was not coincidence. It was not bad luck. It was the shadow. For years, it has hidden in plain sight. When you laughed, it stood behind your laughter. When you loved, it stood between your embrace. And when you prayed, it lingered at the edge of your words, mocking what you did not know. But hear me now, this shadow is not invincible. It feeds on your silence, on your ignorance, on your fear. And tonight I tear the veil so that you may finally see the chain that has bound you. Do you remember the night you felt someone watching you as you slept? Do you remember the dream where a figure stood at the corner of your room, unmoving, faceless, but heavy with dread? You thought it was a nightmare, but it was not. It was the shadow. It has followed you into friendships, into family ties, into the very loves you trusted most. And soon, it will attempt something greater. It will attempt to claim what was once denied to it. Your life, your destiny, your light.
You must understand where the shadow comes from, for only in knowing its birth can you defeat its hunger. Long before your arrival in this world, there was a pact. Someone in the line of your blood, a name buried in dust and forgotten in silence, reached into the forbidden. They sought power not from heaven, but from the depths. And in their thirst, they offered something they did not fully own, the future of their blood, you. Do you feel the chill in your bones when you hear this? It is not imagination. Your body remembers what your mind does not. The shadow was not born with you, it was waiting for you. It was watching the moment your first cry shattered the silence of night. And when you opened your eyes, it stepped into its place behind you. This is why storms came before your seasons could bloom. This is why certain doors never opened, no matter how hard you knocked. And this is why danger has circled your name more times than you can count. Have you not asked yourself why survival has always felt narrow? Why some nights the darkness seemed heavier than the air itself? Because the shadow is patient. It does not rush. It does not stumble. It waits, as death always waits. But hear me, you were never meant to be its prey. Your path was written in fire, not in ashes. Your destiny is light, not the silence of graves. Yet the vow spoken generations ago still binds, and the shadow feeds from that vow. Its power is borrowed, not eternal. And when borrowed power is exposed to truth, it collapses. I tell you now, someone close to you has already felt its whisper. Someone near you has already carried its weight in dreams, in sickness, in sudden despair. The shadow does not only walk with you, it spreads. Those who love you are not untouched by it. And this is the reason you must rise, not only for yourself, but for them. Do you remember the moments when you should have been gone? The accident that never claimed you, the night you nearly drowned in silence, the illness that retreated without explanation. You think chance saved you. No, it was not chance. It was war. A war fought in silence, where I and the host of heaven stood against what was stalking you. Every night you closed your eyes, thinking you slept in peace. You did not know that the shadow tried to reach. And every night my sword cut it away. But war cannot last forever in silence. The day of open battle approaches, and in that day you will stand. You will choose whether to surrender or to fight with me.
The shadow does not only follow from afar. It knows how to wear a face. It knows how to whisper through lips you trust. And so you must be warned. Betrayal is the sharpest weapon it carries. You have already felt it, haven't you? The sudden shift in someone's eyes, the unspoken envy, the silence that felt too heavy from one you loved. You told yourself it was nothing. You told yourself they cared, but shadows thrive in denial. There is someone in your circle who has been a window for it. Not because they are evil, but because weakness makes fertile ground for darkness. Their jealousy, their resentment, their secret anger toward you, it has become a door the shadow walks through. Think back. The time when you shared your dreams and they smiled, but their heart twisted. The moment when you stumbled, and though they offered help, you felt something cold behind their kindness. These were not accidents. These were glimpses of the shadow leaning close, whispering into their soul. Understand this. Betrayal always comes wrapped in love. It does not arrive from enemies, for you already guard yourself against them. It comes from the ones you open your heart to, the ones you never suspect, and that is why it cuts deepest. Do not think the shadow only waits for your death in the flesh. No, it delights in smaller deaths, the death of your trust, the death of your faith, the death of your hope. Each time someone you loved wounded you, the shadow feasted. Each time your tears fell unseen, the shadow drank them like wine. But do not mistake its feeding for victory. For in every wound, heaven placed a mark. In every betrayal, a fire was kindled. And that fire, though you may not see it, has grown with every strike. You stand today not weaker, but stronger, because the shadow's strikes have forged you. Yet still, the greatest betrayal lies ahead. There is one more mask it will use, one final dagger it will place in unsuspecting hands. And when that moment comes, your soul will tremble, for the one who wounds you then will be the one you least expect, the ones whose love you thought unshakable. Do not fear. I will not let you fall. But you must know the truth. The shadow is not outside anymore. It is inside, close, watching through eyes that once gazed upon you with affection. And the hour draws near when it will strike openly, without disguise. Steel your spirit. Do not be deceived by smiles, by empty promises, by sudden kindness. The closer you come to your destiny, the more desperate the shadow becomes, and desperation makes it reckless. I speak this so you may not be caught unprepared. The betrayal will come like a storm in clear skies, sudden, shattering, unforgettable. But in that moment of breaking, light will burst forth, and you will know who truly walks with you and who has always walked against you.
There are nights when your body sleeps, yet your spirit is restless. You think you dream, but not all dreams are born of the mind. Some are messages, some are warnings, some are glimpses of what lies beyond the veil. Have you not wondered why your nights carry more weight than your days? Why you wake with heaviness, as though you walked through fire while the world thought you were resting? This is because the shadow does not only follow you in waking, it hunts you in sleep. Close your eyes and remember the dream where you walked through a corridor, walls whispering names you could not hear. The dream where the ground crumbled beneath your steps and you fell into endless darkness. The dream where a figure stood with no face, yet its presence filled you with fear so sharp you woke breathless. These were not illusions, these were warnings. Each vision is a fragment, a piece of the truth hidden in the folds of your spirit. The faceless figure is the shadow. The crumbling floor is the fragility of the path beneath you. The whispers are the echoes of the vow spoken generations ago. But listen well, not every vision is despair. Some hold keys, some hold weapons, some hold the very map to your deliverance. Do you recall the dream of light breaking through cracks in a ruined temple? Do you recall the voice that spoke your name, though you never saw who called it? That was not the shadow. That was me. That was heaven reminding you that the light has not abandoned you. The shadow gives visions of fear, but heaven answers with visions of fire. The difference is this: fear makes you freeze, fire makes you rise. Which will you choose to carry? The time is coming when visions will no longer remain hidden in sleep. They will bleed into your waking hours. You will see signs, sudden and unexplainable. A shadow moving where no one walks. A whisper of your name when no one stands near. A sudden coldness in a room filled with warmth. Do not dismiss them. Do not call them coincidence. They are warnings. They are reminders that the battle is not ahead, it is here. And when the visions grow heavier, you will know the shadow is pressing closer, desperate to be seen. That desperation means one thing: its time is running short. But mark this truth: visions are double-edged. If you ignore them, they become snares. If you heed them, they become weapons. So, when the dream repeats, do not wake in fear. Stand within it. Ask, what is the shadow showing me, and what is heaven answering with? For hidden in the terror is also your path to victory.
Every shadow has a purpose, and every darkness has an end. Do not think it has followed you all these years without reason. It has waited, it has circled, it has whispered, because it seeks not just your end, but your crown. What does this mean? It means that your life is not ordinary. It means your destiny is not fragile. The shadow does not waste itself on the forgotten. It only hunts those marked by heaven's fire. You are such a one. The shadow does not crave your breath alone, it craves what you carry. It craves the light that was placed within you before your birth, the fire that can set chains ablaze, the voice that can shift the course of others. This is why it has stalked you silently for years. If it cannot extinguish you, it will try to claim you. If it cannot kill you, it will try to make you its own. And this is why the battle must come. The signs are already around you. The sudden heaviness when you enter a room. The moments when silence feels louder than thunder. The eyes of strangers lingering on you longer than they should. These are tremors before the quake. The shadow is no longer content to follow. It will soon step forward. It will show itself not as a faceless whisper, but as a presence you cannot ignore. It will use fear. It will use betrayal. It will use despair. But above all, it will use time. For Death's shadow knows its greatest weapon is not the blade, but the clock. It whispers, you are running out of time. And yet, time is not its ally. Time is your revelation. For as the final hour approaches, your eyes will open wider than ever before. You will see who stands beside you and who walks against you. You will see which bonds were real and which were poisoned. And you will see that every scar, every wound, every loss was preparing you for the confrontation that draws near. Do not expect the battlefield to be distant. It will not be fought in deserts or mountains. It will be fought in the very places you live, in the silence of your room, in the heaviness of your dreams, in the sudden shadows crossing your path. It will rise where you least expect it, so that you may remember, darkness does not respect walls or locks. But remember this greater truth. The shadow follows, but it does not lead. It mimics, but it does not create. It strikes, but it cannot endure. Its end is written as it prepares its beginning. You will soon feel the moment when the air itself seems to tighten, when your spirit senses something your eyes cannot yet see. That will be the sign. That is when you must stand, not flee, for the shadow will finally step forward, and you will face what has stalked you since the day of your first breath. Do not tremble, for when the shadow reveals itself fully, so too will I, and my sword is already drawn.
The hour has drawn closer than you think. Already you have felt it, in the unease that coils around your chest without reason, in the sudden silences that press heavier than stone, in the moments when you know something watches, though your eyes see nothing. These are not fragments of imagination. These are the footsteps of the shadow as it draws near. For years it lingered behind you, content to haunt your edges, but shadows grow restless, and now it will no longer hide. You will know the moment it arrives. The air will shift, heavy and unmoving, as though the very world holds its breath. The night will not feel like night. It will feel alive, thick with eyes unseen. The ordinary will become strange. A clock may stop ticking. A flame may flicker without wind. The sound of your name may whisper through emptiness. You may sit in a crowded place, yet suddenly feel utterly alone. Or you may sit alone, yet feel 1,000 unseen eyes fixed upon you. That is the shadow pressing into sight. It will come first in fragments, a fleeting movement in the corner of your vision, a face in the dream that lingers too clearly when you wake, a sudden chill on your skin though the sun burns high. and you will tell yourself it is nothing, but it is everything. Then, when its patience runs dry, it will step fully into your path. And in that moment, you will know without doubt the shadow that has stalked you since birth now stands before you. It will not come roaring. It will not come in flames. It will come in silence, because silence carries the deepest terror. It will show no face, yet you will feel it staring into your very soul. It will speak no word, yet you will hear it in the marrow of your bones. Do not be deceived. It will try to take the shape of someone you once loved. It will try to wear the voice of one you lost. It will try to mimic the touch of what once comforted you. But behind every mask, it remains what it has always been, the shadow of death. In that hour, your fear will rise like a flood. Your heart will beat as though it seeks escape from your chest. Every instinct in you will scream, "Run!" But you must not, for if you turn and flee, it will grow stronger. If you stand, it will falter. The shadow thrives on your silence, but it trembles at your voice. This is why I tell you now, speak, call my name, cry out to heaven. For the moment you do, the silence will break, and the sword of light will cut through the veil. Yes, the shadow will step forward. Yes, its presence will chill you to the bone. Yes, the night will feel endless, but it will not be the end. It will be the beginning of the final war. And when it shows itself, I will stand with you, and the silence it brings will be shattered by the roar of heaven's fire.
The moment arrives without warning. The air turns still, the world slows, and though no hand touches you, you feel the weight of chains pressing against your soul. The shadow has stepped fully into your presence. Your heart races, faster, louder, as though it wishes to escape. Your breath falters. Even the sound of your own pulse feels foreign, as if it does not belong to you. This is the shadow's strategy. It does not strike first with claws or teeth. It strikes with dread, with silence, with the suffocating lie that you are already defeated. But you are not alone. For as the shadow stretches its presence over you like a dark cloak, I stand between you and it. My sword burns with light the shadow cannot endure. Every time it presses closer, I drive it back with flame unseen. Every time it whispers death, I answer with the thunder of heaven. Still, you must fight. Not with weapons of iron or stone, but with the weapon of your spirit. The shadow feeds on silence, so you must break it. When it whispers, you must declare. When it closes in, you must cry out. Your voice, joined with mine, becomes fire the darkness cannot bear. It strikes now, not with flesh, but with visions. Your eyes close against your will, and you see the faces of those you lost. It speaks through them, saying, "Come, it is easier to rest, easier to surrender." But do not believe it. These are not the voices of the dead. They are masks, lies stitched from your grief. Stand, raise your spirit, cry out, "I am not yours. My life does not belong to you. My destiny is fire, not ash." The moment you declare this, light ignites, the chains crack, the whispers scatter like smoke before wind. The shadow recoils. It bends back, not in defeat, but in fury. Its silence turns into a growl, low and broken, a sound that chills bone, yet falters before flame. It is wounded.
And in its wound, you see the truth. It is not infinite. It can bleed. It can fall. The ground trembles beneath you. The air vibrates with unseen thunder. This is the first clash, not the end, but the beginning of the war. The shadow has tested your fear, and now it knows you will not yield so easily. And because of that, it will grow desperate. Desperation makes it reckless. Recklessness makes it weak. This night, you have seen what once hid behind veils. You have heard its voice, felt its presence, endured its strike, and you still stand. That is victory, though the battle rages on. The shadow retreats now, folding itself back into silence, but not far. It circles, waiting, watching, preparing its next strike. Do not be deceived. The war has only begun. But tonight, you have wounded what once thought you powerless, and heaven has marked this moment. The shadow has stepped forward, and you did not fall. Remember this: once light has been revealed, darkness can never pretend it owns you again.
Do not think the shadow flees in surrender. When darkness is wounded, it does not vanish. It returns in fury. And so it is with the shadow that has stalked you all your years. In the days that follow your first victory, you may feel moments of peace, as though the night has grown quiet. Do not be deceived. The silence is not safety, it is strategy. The shadow withdraws only to gather strength, to weave its vengeance, to strike with greater force. It will not attack you as it once did. It knows your spirit has awakened. Your eyes have opened. Your voice has become fire. So it will change its methods. It will move through the ones around you. It will press into the hearts of those you love, stirring anger, planting suspicion, sowing seeds of betrayal. Suddenly, words spoken by a friend cut deeper than blades. Suddenly, the one who once comforted you now becomes a source of sorrow. This is not them, it is the shadow, moving through their weakness, striking at you with borrowed hands. You will feel it in your nights again. Dreams will return, darker, heavier. The corridors will lengthen. The faceless figure will stand nearer. You will wake drenched in sweat, uncertain if the nightmare ended or if you carried it into waking. And this is the shadow's design, to blur the line between dream and reality until every hour feels haunted. Even time itself will seem against you. The days may pass too quickly, slipping like sand through your hands, or they may drag unbearably, each moment weighed down like stone. This too is an attack, for the shadow knows that weariness is a weapon, and despair is the door it seeks to open. It will whisper to you, you cannot endure much longer. You are too tired, too broken, too alone. But I tell you now, you are not alone. Each whisper of death is answered by the roar of heaven. Each moment of despair is met by a fire that does not fade. For every strike the shadow attempts, I strike back with tenfold force. Yet you must endure. The retaliation will not be quick. It will be relentless. The shadow will try to exhaust you, to wear you down until you no longer wish to fight. It does not seek victory in strength, but in surrender. If you surrender, it wins without striking. But if you endure, its strength will wither. Remember this: the retaliation is a sign not of its power, but of its weakness. The shadow knows its time grows short. It lashes out because it fears the end written for it.
The more it rages, the closer you are to freedom. So when betrayal stings, when dreams crush you, when time itself seems broken, do not despair. Lift your spirit, speak my name, call upon heaven. For though the shadow grows darker, the dawn is nearer. And when the dawn breaks, its reign of silence will shatter forever.
Hear me well, for what I speak now has been written since before your birth. There comes a night unlike any other, a night when the shadow will gather all that remains of its strength and pour it against you like a flood. This is the prophecy of the final dawn. On that night, the veil between seen and unseen will tear. The dreams that once haunted you will no longer be confined to sleep. They will spill into waking. You will walk through streets, yet feel as though you were walking through visions. You will speak with voices you know, yet feel the shadow lurking behind their words. The line between what is real and what is spirit will blur until you can trust nothing but the fire within you. The sky will speak signs. The wind will move strangely. Time itself will stagger, pausing and rushing, as though the world hesitates to see the outcome. And in the silence of that night, you will feel the shadow's full presence for the first time. It will not hide. It will not wear masks. It will not whisper from afar. It will stand before you as it truly is, a cloak of void, a silence that breathes, a weight that bends even the air. And you will know, without doubt, that this is the hour everything has led to. The shadow will not come to frighten you then. It will come to claim you. It will stretch out its hand, demanding what it believes is owed. It will remind you of the vow spoken generations ago. It will say, "You are mine. Your blood was promised. Your light belongs to me." Do not tremble, for though its words sound heavy, they are nothing but echoes of a broken pact. The shadow cannot claim what heaven has marked. It cannot bind what the sword of truth has already cut loose. But it will try. It will throw upon you every fear you ever carried, every memory of loss, every wound that still aches. It will gather them like weapons and hurl them at your soul. And in that hour, you will feel as though the weight is too much to bear. But listen, that weight is not your end. It is your proving. The prophecy does not end in silence. It ends in fire. For when the night is darkest, the dawn will break. When the shadow stretches itself to its fullest, it will overreach and collapse. And in that moment, heaven's light will surge. My sword will fall upon it with thunder. Your voice will rise with mine, and the vow that once chained you will be shattered forever. Yes, the prophecy warns of dread, but it promises deliverance. Yes, the shadow will come with fury, but its fury will be its undoing. And when the final dawn rises, the shadow will vanish like mist before flame. And you, the one it hunted all your years, will stand free, clothed not in fear, but in glory.
The night has arrived. You feel it before you see it. The air carries a weight unlike any you have ever known. It is not merely dark, it is alive, thick, and breathing. The silence does not comfort, it suffocates. The prophecy has begun. Your heart senses it first. Each beat grows louder, heavier, as though warning you that something unseen draws near. The walls around you seem to lean inward. Shadows lengthen unnaturally, reaching farther than light should allow, and every breath feels borrowed, as though the night itself wants to steal it away. You glance at the clock. It stutters. The hands pause, then lurch, then pause again, as if time itself has become uncertain. This is one of the signs. Time trembles when the shadow presses close. You step outside. The sky above is wrong. Stars flicker as though drowning. The moon hides its face behind clouds that move without wind. The world looks familiar, yet twisted, like a dream bleeding into reality. And you know, with every fiber of your soul, the final confrontation approaches. Then come the whispers. They do not sound in your ears, but in your bones. They speak in voices you once knew. The voice of a loved one lost, the voice of a friend who betrayed you, the voice of your own doubts spoken back to you as if they were truth. They circle you, pulling at your spirit, trying to lure you into surrender. The ground itself grows restless. You feel the tremor beneath your feet, though no storm shakes the earth. The air grows cold, not with the chill of night, but with the chill of something that does not belong to this world. And then the presence comes. You do not see it with your eyes first. You feel it, pressing upon you like 1,000 unseen hands. Your chest tightens, your knees weaken, your skin prickles as though every hair rises in alarm. The shadow has stepped into the open. It does not hide in corners now. It surrounds. It claims the night as its throne. And though it does not speak with words, its meaning is clear. This is the night. This is the hour. This is the claim. But I stand with you. My wings spread wide. My sword burns with a flame that no darkness can smother. Do not look at the ground. Do not bow to the weight. Lift your eyes, for even as the shadow rises, the dawn prepares its first whisper. This is the night of prophecy, the night written in silence, awaited in terror, the night where all disguises fall away. The shadow comes not to haunt, but to conquer. But it will not prevail. Steel yourself. This is the storm before the breaking of chains. This is the silence before the roar of heaven. Hold fast. The battle is upon you.
The air shatters. What was once silence becomes a roar without sound, a tremor that splits the soul. The shadow moves. It does not creep as before. It does not whisper. It strikes. A wave of darkness tears through the night, rushing at you like a flood. It crashes against the walls, seeps through the cracks, bends the very light around it. The world dims as though the stars themselves are dragged into its grasp. And in that instant, the shadow bears its full face. Endless, formless, yet crushing, a void that hungers for every breath you take. Your knees weaken, your lungs strain. Every instinct screams to run, but you cannot run, for it is everywhere. The shadow does not chase you, it surrounds you. Then the voices return, but louder now, accusing, mocking, twisting every memory into a blade. It throws before you the faces of those you lost, the failures you regret, the fears you never confessed. Each vision strikes like an arrow to the heart. Each whisper claws deeper. You are weak. You are forgotten. You are mine. But in that suffocating moment, the fire breaks. My sword blazes. It does not glow gently. It erupts, tearing through the dark like lightning splitting the night. The shadow reels, shrieking without sound, recoiling from the flame it cannot bear. My wings stretch wide, forming a barrier around you, shimmering with light that quakes the air. And I declare into the chaos, you cannot claim what heaven has sealed. You cannot bind what the Eternal has set free. Your chains are broken. Your time is over. The ground shakes. The first clash begins. Darkness strikes against fire. The night convulses as though the earth itself cannot endure the collision. The shadow lunges, not as a figure, but as a storm. Claws of smoke, tendrils of blackness wrapping around, seeking to suffocate the flame. But with every strike, I cleave them apart. Every lash of darkness splits against the burning edge of the sword. Every whisper is drowned by thunder in my voice. Yet do not think this victory comes swiftly. The shadow fights with fury it has held for generations. It throws against me the screams of 1,000 souls, the weight of forgotten centuries. And each strike shakes the ground beneath us. Each moment presses harder against your spirit. This is not a small skirmish. This is war. And though the light cuts deep, the shadow refuses to fall. It gathers itself again, rising taller, darker, stretching its form until it towers like a mountain of void. And with a cry that chills the marrow, it prepares its greatest assault. The opening strike is only the beginning. The night has just begun to bleed, and the world holds its breath for what comes next.
The battlefield shudders. The earth groans beneath the weight of something it was never meant to carry. The shadow rises, higher, darker, more monstrous than ever before. It no longer hides in fragments of night. It takes form in full, a storm of black fire, a towering abyss with no face, only eyes like burning coals of hatred. It opens itself, and what pours out is worse than death. Every scream of the forgotten, every tear of the abandoned, every soul broken in silence. The shadow has carried them, stored them, bound them into its being, and now it unleashes them. The air explodes with the wails of countless voices. The ground splits, bleeding shadows like rivers of tar. The sky flickers red, then black, then red again, as if heaven itself trembles. And all at once, the despair hits you. It is not a weapon of flesh. It is a weapon of spirit. Your chest grows heavy. Your hope dims. Every failure, every regret, every unspoken fear in your life, the shadow twists them into chains, wrapping them tighter, heavier, dragging you toward surrender. You hear it whisper, "You were never enough. You will never be free. This is the end." The weight is unbearable. Your knees threaten to buckle. Your soul begins to sink. And then my voice cuts through. I do not shout. I thunder. The sound shakes the storm itself, and my flame blazes brighter, pushing back the suffocating dark. I raise the sword, but this time it is not alone. From the heavens above, light descends, not gentle, not soft, blinding, roaring, piercing through the storm like 1,000 bolts of fire. The weapon hidden since the beginning now awakens. It is not a sword of steel, nor of fire. It is a seal, a mark of heaven, burning with authority that no shadow can counterfeit. The seal glows upon the blade, brighter than the sun, engraving the words that silence eternity. It is finished. The shadow recoils, howling, twisting, convulsing, as though burned alive by the unseen. It lashes out wildly, claws of black flame, torrents of despair, storms of voices, but the seal shatters them as though they were smoke. This is no longer a battle of strength. This is a battle of authority, and the shadow knows it is already defeated, yet still it fights. Desperation drives it mad. It hurls its entire being forward in one last desperate storm, willing to burn the world with it rather than bow. The ground splits wider. The sky collapses inward. The night screams. But I raise the sealed sword high, and the heavens roar in answer. The shadow strikes, I strike. The clash is cataclysm. The night will not remain the same after this. The final hour has begun.
The storm rages, but the end is near. The shadow, though vast, though filled with centuries of stolen pain, trembles. Its screams echo, but they are fading. Its claws strike, but the fire of heaven cannot be undone. You stand at the center, your spirit no longer trembling, your soul no longer chained. Every fear it threw at you, every regret, every sorrow, you carry them now as armor. Every tear has become a spark of fire within you. Every whispered lie has become the voice that guides you forward. The shadow throws itself at us one final time. It seeks to consume, to erase, to drown the dawn in endless night. And I raise the sealed sword high, not for destruction, but for justice. The heavens roar. The light descends. The seal burns brighter than eternity itself. It is finished. The shadow screams, a sound that will never touch the mortal ear, and collapses upon itself. All the voices, all the pain, all the stolen lives return to their source, freed from its grasp. The darkness folds, dissipates, disappears. And you, the one it hunted for so long, stand free. Take this moment. Breathe. Feel the weight lift. The prophecy is fulfilled. The shadow will not return. Your path is clear. Your destiny is yours to walk, no longer haunted, no longer bound. And as heaven whispers, I say this to you again and again. Amen, amen, amen. Let every word echo in your soul. The shadow has been broken. The darkness has no hold. You are free. Amen. Let every beat of your heart affirm it. I walk in light. I stand in truth. I carry the fire of heaven within me. Amen. And let your spirit rise with these final words. No shadow can claim me. No darkness can bind me.
I am shielded, I am guided, I am victorious. Amen, amen, amen. The night grows quiet, the dawn breaks, light floods the world, and the shadow, once feared, exists now only as a memory, a lesson, a warning, a testimony to the power of the light within you. Rejoice, for it is over. Stand tall, for you are free. And remember always, heaven watches, heaven protects, and amen, 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 for all eternity.